So this is an episode slash hot topic slash something just kept came to my mind. So why do and I really want to know this. Why do guys get so offended when homosexuals, transsexuals, anything but heterosexual come on the tier? Meaning it can be 100 dudes on a unit. As soon as a gay, if that's what you want to say, I'm gonna say homosexual because I don't want YouTube to, try to knock this live. But yeah, homosexual coming to everybody start getting all weird. So I had a situation, and I'm only speaking on this because I was just watching something on YouTube. Of course, you know that's my favorite app. I was watching something on YouTube. It was a prison jail video of this new subscription that I've been watching. Basically, the dude was talking about a situation that he was in when he was locked up. When he basically he had a cell buddy that was playing both sides. But how he found out was real suspicious, like he had to do investigating. Now I'm gonna tell you how it went down so I can tell you the rest of the story. So what happened was he had a bunk buddy. Him and his bunk buddy, they started off okay with each other. Now the bunk buddy, um, matter of fact, let me rephrase how I'm saying it. So the guy who told the story, we gonna call him D. And his bunk buddy gonna be named O. You know what I'm saying? D, what's up, Stoner? So D had got some mail. He had got some mail from uptown. He didn't know he had the mail. The COs, they had kept his mail in the bubble because he had got some pictures, and they kept his pictures in the bubble. Basically, they held his mail from him. Now I know from my personal experience that when you go to jail, you can end up in situations where you're not getting your mail, or you're not getting commissary, or you're not getting treated right. What's up, Carlos? Make sure y'all like, follow, and subscribe to the channel. So basically, they had D mail. D had got some pictures sent in from his girl, but he didn't get them on time. So when he finally got them, his bunk buddy, had seen them and was like, "Yeah, um, that's what's up. You got pictures, shit. Hold up." Or matter of fact, I can't remember if that was. Matter of fact, it was his bunk buddy. So he said when he seen his pictures, when O seen D pictures, O ran and got his pictures. So O showing him his pictures like, "Yeah, man, look, these my shorties uptown." You know what I'm saying? And basically making it seem like he was this real important person uptown. Made it seem like he was just this fly guy, had all the girls. And don't get me wrong, he had all the pictures to prove it. But you know, you can't really you gotta take somebody's word for face value in that. Cause a person could tell you anything. You don't know because y'all locked up. A person could say, "Oh, I work for the president." You wouldn't know. Um, or he could fucking be a janitor. You would know. So basically, it was a transsexual on the tier. That's why I'm telling this story, cause I want to know why do straight dudes, and I'm straight. I got a wife, I got kids, and all that, but I'm not like this. Why do they act so freaked out and weirded out when homosexuals, trannies, and all them the LGBTQ community come on the tier? I don't have a problem with them. I never did, never will. Um, I'm actually saying this because I feel some type of way about this shit, and it just in the situation. So the dude, D, he basically is fucking with the tranny on the tip. Now, once he found out because the dude, he had a tattoo of the tranny name on his neck, but he only got half of his name, so people wouldn't be able to tell. I think his name was DeAndre or something. He got Dre put on there. So he like, yeah, yo, you got a new tattoo. What's up? That's what's up. So he like, who that? So Ola basically like, yeah, this is what's up, Johnny? So he like, yeah, this my peoples. They died or whatever. Just got their name, whatever. Made up some shit. So he like, all right. So he see now the tranny on the tier. He also do the laundry for everybody. Spanish tranny. They call him Pocahontas. Hair real long, whatever, whatever. So now when you locked up, it's not a rule that says uh 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 you cannot function around a homosexual. There's no rules. It's nothing stitched in stone about that. It's just organizations. They'll like for example. So I'm Muslim, and when I was in there, we had a transsexual that came on our tier. Now, several times have I been locked up and had a transsexual on my tier, but this one particular time, the transsexual is this white boy. I forgot his name. You know what I'm saying? Kind of chubby. It was funny too because I remember yo had hella hair on his chest, and I'm just looking at that shit like ew. But yeah, he was cool for real. So, long story short, at this time I had been on the tier for at least a month, so I was pretty acclimated. You know, I knew everybody. Everybody knew me. You know what I'm saying? And the tier I'm in, which is basically the leader for the Muslims, he didn't really see nothing wrong with what was going on. Cause what happened was somehow I can't remember how me and Tranny got cool. He wasn't a tranny though. Yo was a straight dude. Like he looked like a guy. You just once you talk to him and you look at his posture, then you know he was homosexual. But you couldn't tell just looking at him. He was one of them ones. He wasn't one of the ones that looked like a girl. He looked like a dude, but once you talk to him, you know yo play the other team. So yeah, I mean somehow we got, you know what I'm saying, introduced to each other. Next thing I know, we sitting at the same table in the day room. Now it wasn't something that we intentionally did. Shit just played out that way. What this is exactly how it happened. You had a couple DMI people on the tier. Now you know DMI is a white gang. The DMIs that was on the tier, I was cool with them. You know what I'm saying? So basically I'm cool with the DMI dude. We're sitting at the table chilling, and the DMI dude is cool with the fucking the faggy boy. So by them being cool, that automatically put me in the faggy dude in kind of like the same proximity. Like I'm not gonna stop talking to my man Zach just because the faggy right there. No, like I don't have nothing against him. You know what I'm saying? Now in Islam, it does state that all um, homosexuals are abominations and they will be pushed off the highest mountains when they die. I do believe that, but I'm not going around with a loudspeaker saying I don't like transsexual gay people. They all need to die. I'm not doing that. I don't have nothing against them. That's their belief. So where my problem came in at was so the whole time we was on the tier, everything was good. Shit was cool. I mean, and I was on the methadone program. For those don't know, methadone it's medicine that you get from like a doctor, but it's to help people that have drug addiction problems to help them get clean so they don't use drugs no more. Get Medicaid together. That's what it was too. Now and on our tier at the time, it wasn't a lot of people that got methadone. You know what I'm saying? It was probably like a good 4 or 5 of us. And dudes used to hate on that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think that's like a free high in jail. And then I'm not gonna lie, it definitely you be busted. I ain't gonna lie. The pills that they give you in there is different from the medicine from the methadone that they give you on the streets. What up? What up? What up? What up? Hit that like button. So make sure y'all hit the subscribe button. So fucking basically now, even if I don't, what's up? What's up? I'm cool. I'm just explaining um why people who act weird around gay people usually probably undercover themselves. You know what I'm saying? And that's what my whole argument is. This old ass wannabe Muslim brother tried to assassinate my character when we was locked up together over 10 something years ago. This happened. This happened a long time ago when I was in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? So fucking the old guy get into it, old Muslim, he in the wheelchair too. And the whole time he could stand. Now it makes sense. So basically, when the old guy get on the tier, he start noticing, you know what I'm saying? He start noticing what's going on with the Jamaat, and we kind of like we together, but it's not like we not on we how can I explain it? We wasn't on no bullshit. That's the best way I could put it. We wasn't on no bullshit. We wasn't walking around clicked up, none of that. We was all doing our own little thing, but we all prayed together, and we had our little crowds we hung out with, but we made sure when it was time to pray, we came together. You know what I mean? So and the E-Man at the time, he was a young dude, my age, you know what I'm saying? So I don't get on the tier. We gonna call him Peep and Tom. I don't even care because yeah, he wasn't right. Whole time he get up there, he trying to I guess you could say he was call himself trying to re reform the tier we was on, change the unit up. It is okay. Hello. Yeah. What's up? Prestige. Make sure y'all hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. So fucking yeah, you'll get on the tier. So first thing he do is call a meeting. Basically, all the Muslim brothers gotta come and we gotta talk. And he basically tried to, like I said, reform the unit. He trying to make people study and do all this and do that. Whole time he's not the leader. Now he had a little bit of knowledge. Don't get me wrong, and that's why he tried to use that. That's why you gotta be careful. Somehow people try to play you out of position. So fucking um long story short, he noticed that I was like I don't want to say cool with the faggot because it wasn't really like we in jail, so I mean fucking I can't just walk off. I gotta stay in this little ass area that we all gotta share this space. We gotta share the same space. I can't separate myself from none of y'all. I gotta deal with the crowd. Um, and yeah, yo just was on some bull crap. So basically, he I forgot what happened. How I forgot what happened as far as like how that situation ended, but I do know that he happened to have a skin charge. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I've been trying to say. I just wanted to tell you the story first. So he was acting all anti-gay because he had a skin charge the whole time. This dude tried to get me rolled out. Like I remember that shit like it was yesterday. Of course your boy ain't go, but it was crazy. Like you niggas be real suspect. Anybody that's fishy towards a homosexual person, keep your eye on them. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, that shit just hit me real quick. Like before I did this episode, I was watching YouTube, and the guy was talking about, oh yeah, the dude, He was talking about his bunk buddy and how his bunk buddy was fucking with the boy on the low, and you know how that shit fucked his head up. But it's like, if they not bothering you specifically, leave them alone. All you showing is that you might be fishy on the low. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got to say about that.
Moochie was there as well. This was Challenger's first time seeing Lil Moochie since that shit happened that day. When they whacked Lenny and shot the girl in the leg. They had had some words because Challenger ain't shoot. Lenny tried to run into a crowd of girls. Challenger wasn't with that, so Moochie felt some type of way because he the only one that blew. They got into a little argument that night and all that. And if Lorenzo wasn't there, it probably would have ended in bloodshed. But anyway, they sat on the same row with Lorenzo, but Moochie and Challenger didn't speak. All three of them was
Like this.
Today's it's your boy Dutch the Damon, and you now watching Damon Time with Dutch. On today's episode of Prison Stories Uncut, today's topic we're gonna be discussing being institutionalized, man, after prison. Now, after serving all that time, you expected to come home and rejoin society as an upstanding citizen. All the while, you just was in prison. 10, 15 years straight, stab wounds all in your body, PTSD, no real responsibility in there, and not to mention, no women, let me say that again, no women treat a small cell like your home, developing OCD, living in close quarters with another man for all them years like that. Got you become OCD men, y'all got to be clean and everything. Nobody want to be smelling each other ass and everything. All this stuff combined, then you just come home. And you supposed to turn that go mode off like a light switch. You ain't touched a woman in 10, 15 years. You super aggressive. You just was fighting over the phone in the shower, in the microwave. Now you
Right.
home, you ain't got to wait in the line to use none of that stuff. But you still aggressive. You waking up 4 o'clock in the morning to eat breakfast. Getting in the shower with your shower shoes still on. Taking showers with your boxes on. At home. You buying top paper, pulling up to class. Well, you just buy back. You still keep the shame on you. You still get paper on the wall. No wearing back. You going to society. Man, I heard that shit ain't work. We end up breaking up. I'm getting into it with people that close to me over small stuff. I ain't letting nothing slide.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still listening to Tupac and Biggie, Facebook and Instagram, weird as hell. But you got to snap out of it and get into it. But in a way, being institutionalized helped me out in the work world to a certain extent, right? Because for one, I ain't had no problem getting up early and going to work because I was getting up 4 o'clock in the morning to eat breakfast and you got to be up for that door open up. So I was always on time for work early. And it taught me how to be clean when I got uptown. Keep everything clean and orderly. It's kind of how like war veterans be when they get home out of the military. But anyway, being institutionalized cost me my relationship when I got out of prison. My first relationship when I got out of prison. Cost me some of my close friends. Because I would go off on people. And that kind of rub couple people the wrong way, you know what I mean? Being overly aggressive. And it caused me to lose a couple jobs like that, being overly aggressive. Now, how I turned that condition around and snapped out of being institutionalized, I dove headfirst into society and became a part of it. Started going to work every day. That changed up my routine right there. Went to trade school. That had me studying day and night for them exams. Went to driving school, learned how to drive, all that stuff. Because before I went to prison, man, I didn't even know how to drive. I was young. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn all this stuff when I got out of prison. But all of these things, doing all this stuff, I didn't really have time to be institutionalized. And soon after, I just really forgot about it. And that was a thing of the past. Even though sometimes I do snap back into that aggressiveness. But for the most part, I'm dealing with it. And I'm doing pretty good. But I will say this. I didn't have to. I kind of figured it out on my own. But don't be scared to get help, man. If you can't control that shit. Because sometimes, man, that shit can bring you down. They don't realize what we had to go through it, man. We had to be on 20 all day, every day, man, ready to go. Some people decades, just turn that off like no light switch. So yeah, don't be afraid to go get help, go talk to a psychiatrist, whatever, go talk to somebody. Because at the end of the day, it's all about bettering self, giving yourself a chance to survive out here in this world, not be just another statistic, man. Shit, you got some old men, they so institutionalized, they get out here and want to go right back. They commit a crime just to go right back. You know what I mean? You don't want to be like that. So get out here and build a life out here and snap out of it. The Damon and you now watch. He's uncut. We always Baltimore and Detroit.
On my no lace vape. Hold up. Wow. I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna have to do some research on that. That don't even add up. Like, how you gonna put the fentanyl in there? Y'all heard it first with me though.
Projects to be exact. But before I hop off on the storytelling, take some, and give some. Hurry, man. I'm always be on the inside, I'll tell you that right now. Damn. What it is, it's your boy, Dutch the Damon, and you now watch Damon Town with Dutch. On today's episode
I
of
hope
Prince
y'all
Stories
hearing this
Uncut,
shit.
this situation took place as usual. Now,
That's his favorite shit.
if you seen any of my other videos about Patuxent, then you already know once a week we had to go to group. And one person that lived in our community, right? Because we had to live in a community setting, right? He had to tell his story. Everybody else just sit back and listen. And at the end of that session, and give some input and ask you if you want to ask any questions or anything like that, right? So on this particular Wednesday, we had group. So I go ahead, walk in the classroom, because we was using the classroom for our group meetings down there, right? They sit the chairs in a circle, you feel me? And the doctors that run the program, they sit in the circle with us, right? And they go ahead on and ask anybody want to speak this week and tell their story. You got 6 months to tell your story. Somebody always want to tell their story. I was all ears. But anyway, this one dude from out DC, right? For video sake, we're gonna call him Mikey Man. Now Mikey Man was light skinned, medium built, chit chats here and there. We ain't hang together or nothing like that. We was cool, right? But he wasn't one of the DC boys that ran with the DC crowd. He ran with FTK. Within the FTK, the DC boys. See, a lot of people don't know that, right, Chad? He was running with the DC boy branch of the FTK system. It was another guy, might as well. I ain't no need to hold it in. Now he had a co-defendant that was right in the group with us. I mean, both of them, they was both in the program, so they was in the group with us, right? So his co-defendant, he was light skinned, dreads, you feel me? Tattoos and shit. Now he wasn't quiet. Loud mouth, always running around on the chair laughing and joking and shit like that, right? So on this particular day, group meeting starts out by telling this story, saying he's from Northeast DC, he came up hard and all that, blah, blah, blah. Then he gets to going into how he had lost his parents and shit like that when he was younger, right? So he lived with his grandma. But he had a cousin that was living there with his grandmother too, right? So he said him and the cousin, they never really get along. He said when he moved in there, the cousin was stealing his clothes and shit like that. Stuff coming up. That's it. So he went on, he had to put his hands on him a couple times, right? But they was cousins, you feel me? First cousin. So it really wasn't no biggie, you know what I mean? So he was talking about how they would hang out and shit like that. And whenever somebody would pick with the other cousin, white man wouldn't go for that shit. He'd put hands on whoever, let them know don't fuck my family, you feel me? Long story short, one day, the cousin come running in the house, hit a little fat, you know what I mean? Sweaty like clothes been ripped, like shirt been ripped. He run in the house and get Mikey, man. He tell Mikey, man, yeah, man, they just went on here and jumped on him. 3-4. So he asked Mikey, man, for the big. He like, man, give me the big, man. So Mikey looked at him like, nah, I ain't giving you the blick. My little peoples, I got you for it. So Mikey said he go up in the room, flip the mattress, grab the baby, throw the hoodie on, put his tennis on, he get in that suit, he ready. He tell his cousin, like, man, come on, we get ready to get a striker, man. So they wait for nightfall, pull a New Jersey drive, steal a car, right? Park it, hide it, put it up. So the next day when they knew everybody was going to be outside on their block chilling, they go back in the house, jumping all black. Again, they lurking. They in the ops hood lurking. He got the cousin with him. The cousin driving. Acting about lurking for about 2 hours. So 2 hours to track nigga out. Now, TikTok won't let me describe these type of scenes. So all I'm going to say is 2 got deleted. About a week and a half, 1 hour after the cousin gets grabbed up and taken into question, Mikey, man, gets grabbed up and taken in for question. Long story short, the cousin went on here and painted a vivid picture for the investigator. Basically told him everything down to the color socks and drawers Mikey had on. So look at this man like, what? So basically the cousin went and got Mikey, man, when he had a situation where he needed assistance. Slim gave him assistance. He ends up betraying Mikey, man, his own flesh. But while he telling this story, he like, yeah, I end up getting an L plus 90. So everybody like, damn, what your people's get? What your cousin get? He like, he right there, ask him. I look over, it's his co-defendant. He like, they gave me 15. Ain't that cheap? Hey, he's sitting right there. They put both of them in the same program together. And basically later on, when we got back on the TED, I hollered at him. He basically told me he had to sign a contract, basically saying he wasn't going to do nothing to his cousin. So they could both be in the program at the same time. If he did anything, he was going to get out of the program and decrease his chance of getting released early. You feel me? So it was both in that program together. This man had L Boogie plus 90 something, and this man had a 15 piece. Sitting 7 people over. I used to wonder why they was Codees and they never used to talk like that. I ain't never see them talking like that. But everybody knew they was Codees. But he wasn't even putting them out there like that. So with that story though, needless to say, you already know what happened after that. Once dudes found out who ate that cheese like that, started getting his commissary tub, wasn't getting no phone time. You know how it go. And eventually he checked himself out of that program. It is. It's your boy Dutch, the Damon, and you now watching Damon Time with Dutch. On today's episode of Prison Stories Uncut, we down ECI with it, Eastern Correctional Institution.
And y'all got it right here from your boy King M. Made soldiers, baby.
Now this particular
See, one thing about my channel, you gonna get a little bit of everything. You might get some teaching about some next level type shit one day, and then the next day you might get me showing you how to make pancakes, and then the next day you might just see me fucking outside feeding the birds. Like, we do it all over here. It ain't nothing that we ain't capable of doing. You want it, you just put it in the chat and we gonna make it happen. You want to hear the music, you tell me, we gonna play that song. You want me to look something up for you, we gonna look it up. You want to talk about something, we gonna talk about it. My channel is here for you guys.
situation happened like 20 some odd years ago. I was down on that shore.
He always say 20-something years ago.
They put me down housing unit 1 in the gang unit, right? Now, it's mine in the right perspective. dangerous building. But anyway, they had me down there. So naturally, as a good brother, as soon as I get on the compound, I links up with the brothers, links up down there with the good brothers, right? And naturally, I wants to find out who's running the show, who in the driver's seat, right? So the good brothers let me know. So once I find this out, I'm like, oh, all right, it's a dude that I heard about, but I never really got a chance to meet him. Good brother had 70 years at the time, right, from over East Baltimore. Now, I'll see him run the show this time down there, right? So long story short, it was his compound, it was his jail, he run the show. Now, after being down there for a couple weeks, by being his first time running the show, I'm really seeing how raggedy it really is, right? But it's his show. Our routine wasn't right, and you know that's mandatory everywhere you go in the system, right? Workout routine wasn't right, brothers lacking discipline, walk around in the day room, shy shoes on, and everything else, you know what I mean? Brothers wolf playing in the day room. It just looked sloppy, it was sloppy. But I had to keep my shirt on about it. So long story short, one of the big brothers coming to jail, one of the big brothers, you know what I mean? And like I already knew, he ain't like what he saw. So after the big brother sit back and watch the motion for a little while, maybe a week or two, he find out who run the show. He go ahead on and tell Slim, go ahead, look, step down. It's raggedy. I don't like how it look. We need you step down on that, man. We gonna get somebody in there who can fix this. But because it was Slim's first time getting a taste of power, he committed the ultimate sin. He told the big brother, he ain't standing down. It's his jail. So that character flaw right there, not knowing when to step down and stay in your place, didn't work out too good for the brother, man. Because it ended up ultimately putting him in a bad predicament. But anyway, the big brother don't take too kind to him, telling him he not gonna stand down. Big brother go ahead, call the meeting, put a play in motion. Got 24 hours to get Slim up out of there, man. You know what I mean? But the whole time in that beating, the brother had two guys in there that he was cool with that went on ahead and alerted him and told him, look, man, they ready to bring you a move. So now he walk around on point. But the brothers don't know he on point. Because these two dudes done went on ahead and blabbered their mouth, right? Long story short, brothers get the word. Slim gotta go ahead on and get up out of there. So when I say up out of there, I don't mean literally they was just going to send him out to jail, you feel me? For that disrespect. Hang that blick in him a couple times, bring him back to reality. But anyway, they take a brother for the mission. We coming out, going to feed out. It's a mass movement. We going to feed up, right? Going to the child hall. The good brother who on the mission, he on Slim trail. He on his trail, high pursuit. Walking him down on the walk, right? Now, he thinking Slim don't know he behind him, but the whole time Slim really on point. Keep looking back, really on point, right? Now, he done armed himself because he know dude's trying to bring him over. So when the brother go slide behind him, he go hang that blick at him, he spins around, lands the blick right in Shorty, man. So to give you an idea how that turned out, he ended up getting life. Instead of 70 years, now he got life. Shorty, I ain't even gonna say it, you know what I mean? Because they'd take the video down for it, but not with us. So he ended up getting the life bit and having to be in protective custody away from the brothers for the rest of his life bit. Because anytime he come off, they on his top. Anytime he step out a lockup building, they on his top. Any compound he step on, they on his top. Be like that in the murder system. You get into it with the wrong dudes, you can't walk on no compound. I mean, no compound. I don't care what jail you go in, they gonna get the word and they gonna slide on you. So if you got a long bit, be prepared to go to war. Your whole bit and come home scarred up if you make it out. But it is this your boy, Dutch the Damon, and you now watching Damon Time with Dutch.
Dutch the Demon.
But it is, it's your boy Dutch the Damon, and you now watching Damon Time with Dutch. On today's episode of Prison Stories Uncut, we down ECI with it, Eastern Correctional Institution. Now this particular situation happened like 20 some odd years ago. I I was down on that shore. As soon as I come into jail, they put me down housing unit 1 in the gang unit, right? Now this unit consists of nothing but gang members and what it is. This your boy Dutch the Damon, and you now watching Damon Time with Dutch. On today's episode of Prison Stories Uncut, I ain't telling no story, but we gonna touch on the topic. Now today's subject matter: counterproductive rehabilitation. Now, for whatever reason it is that you find yourself in captivity, trapped inside these prisons, right? Let me make one thing clear to you: they do offer rehabilitation programs in there, and for certain age groups, it's mandatory. You got the drug treatment program. You got all kind of working shops, metal shops, woodworking shops, computer classes. They even had a roofing class that I took. They ain't let us get on the roof. For a while, they was giving out college degrees in there, man. But if you look at these programs through clear, unindoctrinated eyes, then you can see clear as day. If you're giving me books to read about fixing a roof, right? But the trust level between me and the institution is not there for enough for you to allow me to go up on the roof and work on the roof. So me thinking I know something, then when I actually get out there in the real world and find out I don't know how to address problems or repair things because I've never really been out on the real world and actually touched this stuff. That would make any employer think I was lying. Ain't no way in the world you took a roofing class, you ain't never been on a roof. That's just one example. I literally got a whole roofing certification from Roxbury Correctional Institution. Never been on a roof. But anyway, and then there's the degree thing. Any degree that you obtain while you in prison, when you go to get employment, they don't really take it seriously because for one, look where you got it at, and two, you have no real world experience in the field. But you got a whole degree. And you taking these as convicts and stuff like that. Convicts, dude's been down 25 years. Ain't been on a job interview in 25 years. You give him a book, tell him read that, ask him a couple questions. Now he ready to go on an interview. No, see what they supposed to do. Because they won't even let you start up a car or nothing like that. So how you going to learn how to diagnose if you went for the automotive program? You can't even drive the car to test drive. But you got a whole certification. No, that ain't how you do it, man. They supposed to be letting the dudes that have the correct behavioral patterns, right? Let them dudes go out once or twice out the week and so that they can get some experience being around normal people. Because when you serve that much time, I don't care what nobody say, you're not normal no more, man. They ain't seen what you saying, they ain't done what you done, they ain't done what you been through. You done unnormalized yourself being in there, man. If that's a word. Your ass ain't normal no more. Let him be around females so he can know how to behave and act, you know what I'm saying, in the work environment. And when he get off, he return to the institution. I know it might sound crazy, but believe it or not, they used to do this in the 60s and 70s, man. Facts. They stopped doing it because a handful of dudes ran off. But a few dudes shouldn't have had to ruin it for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people. The program should have still been going on. They just should have heightened the security and the program, but they shouldn't have shut it down. Period. And plus, if a man is coming onto the street once or twice out the week to go to work and then go back in, he can support his family that way. How man, you lock him up in the cage for 30 years, how you gonna support his family in there for 30 years? The object is for him to not support his family, right? You might sound crazy, but they used to do this back in the day. All I'm saying is, man, they need to bring that back. Let them dudes go ahead and work part-time on the weekends and stuff like that. 2 days out the week. And then it take a lot of stress off their families, having to send them guys money, man. You'd be surprised a little money go a long way in the state prison. Everybody not gonna run off. Some dudes really know how to bake. But I mean, think about it. Look at the two differences in the individuals. You take one guy, lock him away for 30 years, give him some books to read, stuff out, then let him out, and he's supposed to be productive in society. Or on the other hand, you got a guy who he been locked up 30 years, but that whole 30 years, 2 days out the week, he been working part-time, contributing to what the family need at home and paying for his own commissary the whole time. Come on, man, it just makes more sense. And this way he will be able to maintain relationship with his family better, cause now he ain't no burden. He contribute and he put food on the table. And you might stop by the job, lunch break or something and see Dad, you know what I mean? Instead of having to go all the way to the facility to go get a visit. I'm telling you, man, this stuff that they got going on right now is counterproductive. That's why the recidivism rate is so high. It's counterproductive. Dutch the Damon, and you now watching Damon Time with Dutch. On today's episode of Prison Stories Uncut, we get with it, man. Now this It speaks. They demonetized my old channel. That's my new podcast. Only take you a couple seconds out the day, man. Just go over there and support the brand. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get it. Now this story is about one of my close partners, one of my favorite brothers, man. Favorite good brothers. I met him in that old jail in that castle 20 some odd years ago. We've been the thickest thieves ever since. Real made guy on the streets. A lot of respect in his hood. And he was really getting to that bag. And a lot of niggas hated on Short because he was a pretty boy type nigga. Stay fly, like brown eyes, light skin, cocky. You know what I mean? Shorty was a beast chew on them streets. Naturally, he had the females lined up. But anyway, my nigga. But like I said, we meet up in that old jail, right? He a good brother, I'm a good brother, so we running together. And like I said, he was getting to the bag uptown, so his people was sending him money, you feel? Big commissary in himself. But one thing about Slim, he was a fucking cat boy at heart. This man could have himself full of shit. He'd still stick with the bad stuff. I done seen this man take a razor and slice these commissary bags open, the nigga everything fall out the bag. He could have himself full of shit. He'd still stick. So his people was sending him money, you feel? Big commissary in himself. But one thing about Slim, he was a fucking cat boy at heart. This man could have himself full of shit. He'd still stick with the bad stuff. I done seen this man take a razor and slice these commissary bags open, the nigga everything fall out the bag. On them back steps in that old jail and take everything. And I literally get back on the tier and split the whole bag with me. I wasn't even with him. He didn't put the work in himself, come back on the tier and split that shit with a good brother. Feel me? Like I say, Slim was cocky. I done seen this man put niggas on their ass, you feel me? Shorty had them hands. So a lot of dudes ain't wanted with Slim. A lot of dudes avoided competition with Slim because his hands were served. He had a white baby mother. Telling me so many stories, man. He slept in himself right next to mine. He used to tell me I used to go up New York, grab a bird or two, come back and really blow the city up. You know what I mean? Turn the city up. He was showing me pictures when he copped the fat Corvette. My man had a big Lex that he had like the LS 430 Lexus joint. And he used to tell me that, man, when I get uptown, when I get on these streets, I'm gonna turn it up a notch on these niggas. So I already knew Shorty was gonna get to that bag when he got uptown. But long story short, one day we in the day room and shit, right? Good brother, he go in on, hop on the phone, call uptown. I'm sitting at the table watching TV. He stays on the phone for like 10 minutes, slam the receiver down, and I can see his face. He looked like he's about to cry. He go in the cell. He tell the officer he locking in. He go in the cell. So he's my man. You feel me? I say, man, what was wrong? Sure. But I don't want to pry too much. You feel? I just got up, walked over to his cell, whispered in the crack of the door, like, you all right, good brother? You all right? He's like, no, I'm gonna tell you about it. I was like, all right, bro. I just walked off. Me being penitentiary smart, I'm already knowing he done lost somebody. Because that's the only time you really get that type of reaction from somebody in the joint when they lost somebody. My boy ain't come out of the cell all week, man. I was checking on him here and there, but he wasn't really trying to come out the cell. Like a week goes by. When he do come out of the cell, he came out on the day that we have our meetings and shit. He came to the meeting, went to the meeting. After the meeting was over, he pulled the big brothers up, told the big brothers, he ain't walking with the brothers no more. He still got love for the brothers, but he can't walk with the brothers no more. And the big brothers that was on the location, the big brothers that was on the location, they let him go ahead on the walk. They let him sign out. He had a lot of love for Shorty. He didn't want to do nothing to him. He understood why he wanted to walk out, so they let him walk. He had a valid reason. So when we get back on the table, he get to telling me, yeah, yo, I dropped out. I ain't with it no more. You feel me? Woo, woo, woo. So I'm looking at him like, real? Like, yeah, man, I ain't fucking with it no more. So he get to going in. He get to telling me, word on the street is some good brothers went rogue and snatched up his real little brother. He deleted his little brother. He told me they found his little brother in Lincoln Park, West Baltimore. And I'm like, damn, bro. Take some brothers uptown road, going road, praying on their own good brothers, jacking anybody. He said 4 good brothers on a mission. They ain't listening to nobody. They doing whatever they want to do. They done went rogue. And he was trying to explain to me how the brothers was trying to explain to him that them dudes ain't that no more. We on their ass. But still, he still ain't want to walk with the brothers no more. And I had to respect it too. Delete my brother, I feel him. Because what it was, his brother was getting a couple of dollars uptown. Dudes went ahead, grabbed him up, did that to him. Jealous for her. And he was a good brother too. You know what I mean? The ultimate betrayal. So like I say, the good brother, he was getting a couple of dollars uptown, but he walked out or whatever. He wasn't functioning with us no more. But he was still catching. He was catching that smack in the joint. But now he not no brother. So the whole time, he done walked out. The brother still letting him get a couple of dollars. They wasn't taxing him enough, right? So probably after he done walked out, probably like 10 months ago. Whole 10 months, he jugging in the jail getting money. Brothers ain't taxing him or nothing, just off the strength that he used to be, you feel me? But after them 10 months was up, the big brothers came to me and said, man, look, you can't stand behind that shield no more. You done walked out. We got to treat him like everybody else, you feel me? So because I had the location, the big brothers, they came to me with it and told me to get it done. But by me knowing Slim the way that I do, I wasn't going to just send no any old brother at him. I'd rather do it myself because I know how to use diplomacy and I know he feel comfortable with me. Because they basically told me I got to press Slim out. You got that smack, you don't need out 10%. When they tell me, I'm like, damn. All right, I'll let him. So now I'm not knowing how this gonna go for real. Slim a gangster, you feel me? I'm gonna complete my mission. So it's really gonna have to come down to the come down. So I got my director from the big brother. So long story short, that night yard, he came out. I seen him making plays. Dudes on his heels trying to get some of that smack. He coming out in the yard making plays. So when he see me, he don't think nothing of it. I walk up, give him a file. What's up? Pull me holler at you. Pull him over behind the shack real fast. But when I pull him over behind the shack, I can see he ain't trust the move for real. He looking over his shoulder like, he know me, but he still know I'm that, you feel me? So he don't know if it's a move coming or what. And I seen the look on his face, so I wanted to really show him, boy, ain't nothing like that, you feel me? So what I did, I cut the small talk, and I just told him, like, boy, look, you know how me and you rock, you feel me? My boy, you always gonna be my boy. But you know, you feel me? You walked out. Brothers let you go ahead on and get it in 10 months, you feel me? They telling me, you feel me, you got to pay that 10 now. Pay that 10%. I don't know how this man gonna react to this, but I'm waiting for a response. These man look at me and smile. Yeah, it goes in his mouth and shit. He looked at me and smiled like, oh man, that's it, Dutch. I thought they sent you over here on some bullshit, man. He was like, man, you know that ain't nothing, man. I know how it go, bro. I wouldn't even put you in no crazy position, yo. Just holler at me when we go back in. I got you, bro. And that shit made me like, cause I ain't want to have to do that to my boy, you feel me? So long story short, we get back in the building. Bless me. I went ahead and looked out for the brothers, gave the shit to the brothers so the brothers can get a little money. You see what I'm saying? He did that shit like it wasn't nothing. But anyway, man, my boy ended up going home like 2 years later, getting to the bag, drop top Corvette, flying up and down Pennsylvania Avenue, really dragging, having his way, doing whatever he want. But after being out there for probably like 8 months, man, he gets the word up there on that phone. My boy got deleted out there in the streets, man, up there in the Baltimore streets. And the word was, them same rogue brothers that deleted his real biological brother is the same brothers that got him. You know what I mean? Jealousy. Say they grabbed him all up, tortured him and all that old bullshit, man. Karma a motherfucker. Because them same four brothers all gone now. Due to different situations. They didn't get deleted all together, but they all gone now. Because when you do dirt, you get dirt. What it is, it's your boy Dutch the Damon, and you now watching Damon Time with Dutch. On today's episode of Prison Stories Uncut, we over East Baltimore with it in them real trenches, man. Trapped down there in that Maryland penitentiary. Now, this situation took place over 20 some odd years ago, right?
Y'all better
You had me
listen.
down there, had your boy down there in that penitentiary. Now, before I get off in the storytelling mode, I need all my loyal followers to go ahead on over to YouTube and subscribe to Dutch the Damon Speaks. That's my new podcast. They demonetized my old channel. These stories gonna end up stopping because I don't do this for free. I need all my loyal subscribers to go. All I need is 300 more, man. So now that that's out the way, let's get it. Now to give y'all a little background on that Maryland penitentiary, if you ain't from Baltimore and you don't know, it used to be a maximum security prison for lifers. And the fun fact, the Maryland penitentiary in East Baltimore is the oldest penitentiary in the United States, period. Period. It looked just like a castle from the medieval times. And another fun fact, they actually used to auction off slaves there, man. It's a little history, a little game for you. But anyway, they had me down there in that Maryland penitentiary, right? So I can remember at this time, man, it was a lot of show enough reputable members in that penitentiary at this time. Good brothers, man. I'm talking about some real stamped dudes, man. Shit, some of the ones that really made the name what it is in Maryland, you know what I mean? A lot of chiefs, you know what I mean? A lot of big dogs in there. So if you know anything about the good brothers, when it's like that, when you got a lot of big brothers that's of stature on the location at one time, it be a lot of structure. That's how it is. It be a lot of structures when you got a lot of big dogs on the location. Cause I guess don't nobody want to fuck up, you know what I mean? But you got some brothers that just don't understand that. They think they can treat every location the same. But if you've been around, then you know, in that world that is, then you know. You might come on one location, and the big brother that's sitting at the top at that location, he might be more laid back, cool, calm, and collective, not too strict. See, a lot of the younger brothers, they like these type of locations. They like these type of regimes, you know what I mean? The older brothers, we go for more structure. But anyway, yeah, you might come on a location and it might be like that. Then you might come on a location and it might be like this. You might got a brother sitting at the top, one of the big brothers. That's zero tolerance. Meaning every rule and bylaw and whatever got to be followed to the T, or it's going to be disciplined. So you never know what type of location you going to land on coming from another prison or coming out that diagnostic building or coming from over that city jail, landing on a location. You don't know what type of location it's going to be. Is it going to be laid back or is it going to be, you know what I mean, strict? You don't know. And that could determine if it's no motion or slow motion. But anyway, we had a brother, right? He just couldn't grasp that concept. He tried to treat every location like it's the same, right? Now, this brother that we discussing is a known cruddy brother. You see what I'm saying? Crud ball. And he had a little addiction. You know what I'm saying? He liked to play with his nose, right? He was an older brother, but he was a cruddy brother. But his thing was making you love him. You know what I mean? He was one of them lovable brothers the way his door. He was cruddy, but he'd get around you, make everybody laugh, make everybody side with him all the time. He low down, right? He was doing shit like this, like going around the prison, right? Anybody that he knows jugging in the prison selling something, whether it be backer, whether it be, you know what I'm saying, extracurricular activity, whether, you know what I mean, they crossing their legs in Baltimore, that mean putting it in. You know what I mean? He love to cross their legs. But anyway, anybody he know jugging, he on their ass, right? And what he like to do is he like to get shit on then just don't pay. And because of who he is and his reputation, when it come time to collect, a lot of them dudes don't know how to go about the situation because the good brother done made himself unapproachable. You see what I'm saying? Because he one of them type, he smile in your face when he needs something from you. But then once he get it, he turn cold on you. You don't want to even approach him. You see what I'm saying? That's what you call mind manipulation. Man. So what happens, dudes will be coming to us, keep coming to us, man. Them won't pay me, you know what I mean? I don't know what to do, because, you know what I mean? I know your brother, you know what I'm saying? I don't want no problem, but I need my money, and, you know, man, can you help me out? Talk to the brother, blah, 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 right? No bullshit, man. We was in this prison. We was in this penitentiary together probably like 7 months. And out them 7 months, about 18 people that came to me about this man debts. So the big brother started getting tired of that shit, man. You using and abusing your authority. You see what I'm saying? Not paying your bills. And that's one thing we don't allow. That's a no-no. Because you got to keep your business clear. Because one thing for sure, two things for sure, you're not going to be paying your bills. You're not going to be paying your debts. So like I said, the big brothers got tired of that shit, right? He keep wanting to go off, or he the cool guy that make everybody laugh and all that whole time. The brothers getting tired of laughing, you know? So the big brother come to me like, boy, look, Dutch, man, need you go ahead on and take care of something. I want you to let the good brother know he got 48 hours to pay every debt he got on this compound. And I mean every last debt he got on this compound. And if every person not paid off within that 48 hours, you go ahead on and get it done. I'm like, damn. But I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of excited at the same time. And I was tired of the brother shit, right? So I couldn't wait for Big Yard to open. Big Yard to open. We get out there in that big yard, right? I pull him up. We'll walk around the yard with me real fast. We get to spin in the bed. We get to walk around the yard, right? While we walking and talk, I basically went on here and explained to him, man, listen, man, this ain't coming from me. This coming from upstairs. It coming from up top. You feel me? It come from the big chief. They say, man, you got to pay off all your debts in 48 hours, man. The brothers don't want to hear no excuses, no stories. Just go ahead on and take care of that. So he looking at me, he like, that you for real? Yeah, yeah. Man, like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do, yo. Whole time I'm looking at him like, that shit to yourself. So let me tell you how clever this brother is. He go off into the corner of the yard, sit on the bench, and I can see him, he's sitting there thinking, right? His brain working. He was looking sad, looking real sad. Think I even heard a violin playing in the background. But this man was clever. He dips off, slides off, and walk out the yard, go back in the building, right? In the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, I know this brother not gonna go ahead and check in, right? I know he ain't gonna get out of that because he is a good brother, you feel? I know he ain't scared, right? But he do got a deadline. This is what I'm thinking. But he got 48 hours, so like I said, he dip off. I don't see him no more all that day, right? So he slept on a different tier than me anyway. So once the yard closed, I wasn't gonna see him no more anyway. But like I said, I ain't seen him no more all that day, right? So I go back on my tier. We get ready for the officers to take their count. You feel me? The penitentiary, we wasn't on the blocks. We was in the dorms. So in the penitentiary, it's just bunks. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no cells. It's just bunk, open dorm. So I'm sitting on my bunk. I put my headphones on top of my head, go on my mail, and I whip out the tobacco I had stuffed down and then get the rolling me a roll right. You feel me? Throw my slippers on, made a little cup of iced tea, had the nose bumping in my ears. I think it was like Illmatic. Chill mode was definitely turned on. So as I get deep off into my chill mode, relaxing, one of the working man, white boy working man, come over to my bunk. He had a mop in his hand. He was like, "You Dutch?" I'm looking at him like, "How is you?" He was like, "No, I got something for Dutch. Is you Dutch?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Dutch." This man going this dip, hands me a kite, right? So he like, "Hold up, that ain't it." He get to reaching deeper down in his dip and whip out a whole bundle wrapped up in like saran wrap, right? And he handed it to me, so I'm like, "Oh, the fuck, he bagged me shit like a football, right?" It was wrapped up in a shape like a damn football. That's how big it was, right? I take the shit, tuck it under my shirt, and I'm like, "All right, I got it." I walk off and go in the shower. I go to the shower, right? Go back there, pull the curtain across, boom, bust it open, bust it out the wrapper. And some nosy ass good brothers were watching me too. They seen me going in the back. They know I had something, but they ain't had the balls to follow me back there. But they was watching me. Everything you can think of is in this wrap when I unwrap this shit. All type of contraband in that motherfucker. I'm talking about phone, bag, a G-Rags, all kind of shit is in here. Man, I'm puzzled like, what the fuck? Fuck this nigga sent me all this shit for? So I get to reading the kite, right? I get to reading the kite. He like, "Yeah, man, that shit wasn't nothing. I went on here and took care of that, man. You can tell the brothers they can take that and then pay all them dues. Since them dues coming to them, I'm gonna give it to the big brothers and they can pay them dues off, and them dues come to them crying about this shit, man. But I took care of it. I handled it, right? So I'm like, damn, okay, brother. I don't know how he did it. This is what I'm thinking, right? But the brother pulled it up. Brother sent over a substantial amount of contraband to the big brothers, right? Now, these big brothers that's on location, they real OGs, but a lot of them credit too, right? So I'm already knowing, like, once I get this to the big brothers, they not giving them niggas none of that shit, man. They gonna keep that shit. And sure as shit, I took the shit, gave it to the big brothers, right? Once they see what it is, big brother gave me a phone out that shit and told me, tell the good brother, he good, he ain't got to worry about nothing. Ain't gonna be no penalties. He made up for it like that. Gave me a whole cell phone, right? I'm like, damn, but all right. But these dudes on the outside looking in still want their shit from Slim, right? Now the brothers done told him he good, but some of these dudes is Muslim. So all the dudes that the brother owed, which was a substantial amount of dudes, they banded together and went and approached the big brothers about the situation, about the payment, right? Yeah, so one of my close partners, man, one of my boys hit me up, say we going down to Hazelwood tonight, you know what I mean, get some of them wings. So I'm like, shit, all right, that's what it is, some of the wings, yeah. Dutch, the Damon, and you now watching Damon Town with Dutch. On today's episode of Prison Stories Uncut, oh, we over East Baltimore with it in them real trenches, man. Trapped down there in that Maryland Penitentiary. Now, this situation took place over 20 some odd years ago, right? You had me down there, they had your boy down there in that penitentiary. Now, yeah, so one of my close partners, man, one of my
I know we on here late today.
going down to Hazelwood, now, you know what I mean? Get some of them wings.
It's only 9 o'clock, man.
That's what it is. Some of the wings, yeah. So when he tells me this, I went on here, hopped in the shower.
Where my members at?
Purple label James on, all black Pradas, no top, and a
I
nice
know they
black
out here.
shirt I had with the Prada shades.
We don't
Really,
get tired.
But anyway,
Not over here.
spray that Izzy Miyagi. About a good 3 pumps. Then you gotta back up, step back from it. Hop in the whip, cut the tunes on, and slide. Now, I went on here and met my boy at the Hazelwood Inn. Soon as I stepped in that motherfucker, all eyes on me like a Tupac song. It's just grilling me. Because I'm already knowing I'm clean. Then I see my man, he over at the bar. He waved me over at the bar. Like, you, like my boy. Now I'm making my way through the crowd. This is on me. So because I'm knowing all eyes on me for real, as soon as I get the bar, I go ahead on order. What it is, it's your boy Dutch the Damon, and you now watching Damon Time with Dutch. On today's episode of Prison Stories Uncut, we back out Baltimore County in that detention center with it, man. Now this situation took place like 5 years ago. They had me out there trapped out there in the county. Now I was only locked up for a bumper for real. But they put me in a maximum security wing because of my affiliation or whatever. So they throw me in the red jumping, send me on the TIG. When I get on the TIG, I see one of the brothers I know from in the system, right? So it didn't take me long to get in with the brothers. He straight introduced me to everybody since he already knew me. There was about 15 brothers on the TIG at that time too. Brothers looked out for me when I got over there, gave me a little kid package, hygiene products, some soups, canned foods, chips, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Girls on the wall was our phone. We ended up having two phones. So they let me know, look, these brothers' phone right here, man. Use them whenever you want. So I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, that's what it is. So it was one good brother over there, right? For video purposes, we're gonna call him Big Bang. No, it's not his real name. We're gonna call him Big Bang for video purposes. But anyway, this brother was a big boy. I'm talking 6'3", 350 pounds. But he was tall, so he carried it kind of well, but he was a big boy, right? This man loved to eat, and he was funny. I'm talking about say you in tears. I'm booked. That's the type of energy I like around me. I'm already on things at times. Be somebody around that, you know what I mean? Man, we get to chopping it up. We kind of find out we the brothers that been around the longest on the team. Because a lot of those brothers, they was little brothers. Maybe been functioning 3-4 years. But me and him, we was the only ones 15 years plus. As good brothers, you know what I'm saying? He knew a lot of the good brothers that I knew. And the only way to know some of these brothers when you not that old, when you in your 30s, the only way you could have met some of these brothers is if you was back up off of that concrete jump. So a lot of times you can tell where a person has been based upon who he know. Because some of the good brothers ain't been on the street 30 years. But anyway, now he was a good brother that been the wisest. Did not know all this shit like he was supposed to. And when I came on the tier, I had noticed that he was spreading a lot of misinformation. And it probably was due to his lack of knowledge. I don't think it was intentional. You see what I'm saying? I think that was what he was fed. He just regurgitated it back to the smaller brothers, but it was inaccurate. So I had to clean that up. And once he started picking my brain and saying, oh, Slim really sharp, he pulled me in the cell. Like, boy, let me holler at you one day, right? Get to ask me all these questions about things, about, you know what I mean, destroying and rebuilding, just the knowledge. You know what I mean? Just the knowledge. Give it to him. Give him the game. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't think nothing. So, bro stayed in the cell like 2 days, right? I ain't know, but the whole time he was putting himself in the bank tank. He was in that chamber studying, locking it in, right? Then when bro popped back out, when he finally come out the cell, this man called a meeting, pull all the brothers up on the steps and get to spitting everything that I just told him to them. But the whole time he making it like it's coming straight from him, like he didn't mention me, right? I mean, like he didn't say, yeah, I mean, you know, bro just schooled me, so I'm gonna school y'all. The man just really made it like this was his now. I'm looking at the man like, wait a minute. I'm thinking to myself, like, this man ain't know none of this. I just told this man all this shit. But I figured it out later. That was his way of making the little brothers feel like he was on my level because they all looked up to me over him, and he didn't like that shit. Kind of find out. Because as soon as I came on, I just went straight over top of him because he was like telling them little shit here and there. But as soon as I came over, that shit ended. You feel me? Because you always gotta remember, strong will over weak, wise will over both. All my little brothers respect my mind. Period. But anyway, I've had brothers do that to me before, so I just let that
Hello?
slide. I ain't think nothing of it because I don't obtain knowledge to keep it to myself. I'm gonna pass it on.
Hello? Hello? Got the wrong number.
brother. So if he want to use it and act like he is that the third, so be it, bro. Go ahead, bro. But like I say, the brother, other than that, the brother was a real funny nigga. I'm talking about the stories he told me, right? So one day, long story short,